In today's video, you want to be in a 600 calorie deficit. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about a question I got on my Instagram direct message around creating a calorie deficit. Now, this person sent me this question to my Instagram direct message. So if you guys have questions, go to my Instagram, send me a message. And what we're going to discuss here is kind of an evidence-based approach, but we're also going to talk about the aspects of how I would approach this as a coach and a fitness professional. If you like this type of information, hit subscribe. It's what we love to do here. So first I would like to read the question, then we're going to get into the kind of difficult situation that this person has created for me, and I'm going to break it down as best I can. All right, so today's question goes like this. I want to be at a 1600 calorie deficit and lose 30 pounds in the next 3 to 4 months. Do I eat a 2000 calorie a day diet and burn 400 calories from exercise, or do I eat a 1600 calorie diet and burn 400 calories from exercise? Well, the first part of this question, it comes down to, what does it require for you to actually lose weight? Many people can probably lose weight on a 2000 calorie diet. The other real problem I have here with this equation is that exercise does not burn the same amount of calories for the same person, for different people. And you cannot always trust the machines. In fact, they did a study where they actually found that some of the fitness devices can mistrack calorie burn by as much as 80 to 85%. Now, I'm sure over time those things are improving, but the point here is that you don't actually always know what you're burning based on what your app says, your phone says, or the machine says. So how do you know you're truly in a caloric deficit? Well, you're losing body fat. Just because you go to a website like ProPhysique.com and you go on there and you have the ability to plug in your information, your age, your sex, your goal, you can go to ProPhysique.com and do that, and it's going to give you some calories that you should be eating to build muscle, to lose body fat rapidly. Well, that calculator makes a lot of assumptions, right? It's not based exactly on you, and that's the real problem here. So what I suggest as a coach is that we do something that is going to allow us to really get excited about the process, get excited about making progress, so that we are diligent and tracking our diet, tracking our activity. Something like a transformation challenge. Now, we did one last year, a 90-day transformation challenge. We gave away $5,000, and if you'd like to be a part of the next one, well, it's going to be coming up soon. I'll put a link below. If you give us your email, you will be notified first of this transformation challenge, and that is the only thing we will ever notify you about. This is not one of those links where you're just going to get spam. In fact, we don't actually send any spam. But that's the point. If you want to be a part of a transformation challenge, that is one of the big parts of getting excited about fat loss. Now, you said you wanted to lose 30 pounds in 3 to 4 months. Well, hey, that's what, 8 to 10 pounds a month? You know, maybe 8 to 12 pounds a month. That's very doable. That is something that if you are someone who has historically been overeating, low exercise, low activity, and not really holding yourself accountable, if you make that kind of a switch, the body will respond very favorably, especially if you're 30 to 40 pounds overweight over, let's say, what your happy weight was maybe when you were in high school or maybe when you were younger. There's places where our bodies like to reside. So here's what I want to talk about. What's more important, a 2,000 calorie diet and burning 400 calories, or a 1,600 calorie diet and burning 400 calories? Well, here's the thing. Both of those diets, if they're true, are creating a caloric deficit. However, if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet and you're burning 400 from exercise and you don't lose weight, what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that you're actually eating at maintenance. The other thing to consider here is body fat doesn't always just come off the scale, right? You sometimes have to take measurements and take pictures to see that you're actually losing body fat, especially if you add in resistance training, which I highly recommend. As fun as it is to lose 30 pounds, I promise you it's a lot more fun to lose 30 pounds but put on 10 pounds of muscle and look completely different in a short amount of time. So when you talk about a 1,600 calorie deficit like the question implies, I got nervous thinking you were going to actually try to be in a deficit that big every day. And it kind of reminded me of Angus Barbieri. If you've ever heard this story, it's very true. I'll link it below. In the 50s, a guy named Angus Barbieri, who was so overweight, we went on a medically supervised fast for, get this, more than a year. That's right, an entire year of not eating. And what happens when we don't eat? Well, the big thing that happens is that our body begins to break down body fat as fuel. yes, body fat is a fuel source. It's quite an abundant fuel source. And if you're obese, your body will begin to break that down for energy. Now, this was medically supervised, so they were giving him fluids and minerals and, things like that. But the most important part is that he didn't eat. He didn't eat anything more than a year until he got down to his goal weight. And then the real problem is, how do you eat? And I think this is a real problem I run into with people that ask me about these kind of aggressive crash diets, is that you can't just go back to doing what you were doing. It will put you in a worse place than you were when you started. However, if you have a plan and you know you're going to go through this aggressive short period of fat loss and you have a plan coming out, let's say you get down to 1,200 calories a day by the end. You can't just go back to eating 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories like you were before. If you're at 1,000, 1,200 calories, you better start just adding a couple hundred calories from there and see how you respond. Also, if you don't eat food sources for a long time, like this guy, Angus Barbieri did, he had to start eating like plain bread. That was like the first thing he had after a year of fasting. Because remember, our body adapts to the things we do. So if you remove foods from your diet, your digestive enzymes are going to change. Your ability to digest and break down food is going to change. You ever hear people say they get bloated when they eat certain things? Well, that means they either have a food intolerance or they've just avoided it for so long that their body has trouble breaking it down. So don't think of fat loss as an end goal. Think of it as the end of that chapter in that book. And the next chapter is going to be, hey, I need to start bringing my calories back up, because you can certainly maintain a much leaner physique if you do it properly. All right, my friend? So the best thing for you to do is, yes, hit 2,000 calories for a week. Hit your 400 calories of cardio for the week, and then see what happens. Take pictures, take your weight, and take some measurements. Do the inches go down on your waist? Does the scale go down? Do you look leaner in pictures? You made progress. Keep everything the same, and keep doing that. Not until you stall. Then what you'll have to do is make another adjustment, either reducing calories, increasing activity, finding a way to keep it going. This is how sustained fat loss is done. And hopefully during this process, what you're going to end up doing is changing your daily routine, changing your habits. That's the real power in going through this weight loss transformation, is that we kind of get excited. And that's why we at Pro Physique are doing our next transformation challenge. And I have to tell you, it's going to be even better than the first. So if you want, the link is below. Get involved, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.